assis dans l'audience. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Premièrement, j'aimerais dire quelques mots concernant notre carnaval d'hiver. I would like to say a few words concerning our 50th Winter Carnival. On behalf of Kirkland City Council, I would like to thank our administration, Recreation Department employees, and especially our precious volunteers for making the 50th Winter Carnival a tremendous success. Thank you all. De la part du conseil municipal de la ville de Kirkland, j'aimerais remercier notre administration, notre département des loisirs, nos employés et nos précieux bénévoles d'avoir fait de notre 50e carnaval d'hiver un succès monumental. Pour nos bénévoles aussi, on a eu un aide de nos conseillers municipaux ici, présents ce soir. Merci tous. Bon, Madame Liendo, vous pouvez commencer l'Assemblée.
Alors, bienvenue à cette séance ordinaire du conseil municipal de la ville de Kirkland en ce lundi 3 février 2025. Nous allons d'abord adopter l'ordre du jour. It is proposed to adopt the agenda of the present regular sitting of February 3rd, 2025 as submitted.
Un proposeur.
Proposeur, call the floor.
And second.
Je seconde Dominique Zito.
Merci.
Au point 3, procès-verbaux, nous en avons un à soumettre pour approbation. Il est proposé d'approuver le procès-verbal de la séance ordinaire tenue le 13 janvier 2025 à 20h.
Proposé.
Je le propose, Carrington.
Et secondé.
Je vais seconder Duchamp.
Merci.
Au point 4, compte payable, il est proposé de confirmer et d'approuver le paiement d'un montant total de 7 82 174,04 $ pour l'ensemble des chèques émis et annulés, les dépôts directs et les paiements préautorisés pour la période du 1er au 30 janvier 2025. Et le conseil municipal prend acte du dépôt de la liste des contrats conclus en janvier 2025 comportant une dépense de plus de 25 000 $.
Un proposeur.
Je le propose, Nancy Kokinositis.
Et appuyé par.
Item 5, bylaws. We have one bylaw at item 5.1. Considering that the draft zoning bylaw 9058-111 containing provisions making it a bylaw subject to approval by way of referendum was adopted at the December 2nd, 2024 regular sitting. Considering that a public consultation meeting was held concerning this draft bylaw on December 17. It's regarding trees and zone 326M. The second draft of this bylaw was adopted at the regular sitting of January 13, and following the publication of a public notice indicating the possibility of submitting a request to participate in a referendum, no request was received from interested persons during the period for submitting those requests. This bylaw was made available to the public on the town's website. Therefore, it's proposed to adopt zoning bylaw 9058-111 entitled Bylaw Amending Zoning Bylaw 9058 regarding trees and zone 326M. This bylaw will come into force after obtaining a certificate of conformity from the agglomeration of Montreal and its publication on the town's website and bulletin boards in the coming weeks.
Propose.
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second.
I'll second Duchamp.
Au point 6, contrat. Tout d'abord, nous avons le point 6.1. Il est proposé d'autoriser une dépense additionnelle de 11 259,24 $, toute taxe applicable incluse, payable à Vimoval Inc. pour des travaux supplémentaires effectués dans le cadre du contrat PP 2021-08, entretien préventif et correctif des systèmes CVC des bâtiments municipaux avec 4 options de renouvellement. Il s'agit de dépenses additionnelles dans le cadre de la 3e option de renouvellement.
Un proposeur.
I'll propose, Carrington.
Et secondé par.
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Merci.
Item 6.2, it is proposed to authorize an additional expenditure of $5,463.39, all applicable taxes included, payable to Construction Retail 2014 Inc. for additional work carried out under contract TP 2023-28, plumbing maintenance for service for municipal buildings with 4 renewal options. It is additional expenses regarding the first renewal option.
Propose.
Je le propose, Carrington.
And move.
Secondé, Paul Dufort.
Thank you. I mean second.
Point 6.3, il est proposé d'autoriser une dépense additionnelle de 9 696,91 $, toute taxe applicable incluse, payable à Produits Suncor Énergie pour la fourniture supplémentaire de carburant super sans plomb dans le cadre de l'option 1 du contrat d'achat regroupé 1497214 géré par la Ville de Montréal, auquel la Ville de Kirkland est participante, pour l'acquisition de carburant super sans plomb dans le cadre du lot 1.
Proposé.
Que propose John Morrison?
Et appuyé par.
Je l'appuie, Dominique Zito.
Merci.
Au point 7 maintenant, administration et finances. Nous avons le point 7.1. Considérant que la Ville de Kirkland désire présenter une demande d'aide financière dans le cadre des projets d'aménagement d'une piste cyclable sur le chemin Sainte-Marie dans le secteur Timberley et d'un sentier piéton dans la servitude d'Hydro-Québec, il est proposé d'autoriser le dépôt de la demande d'aide financière dans le cadre du programme Fonds pour le transport actif du ministère du Logement, de l'Infrastructure et des collectivités du gouvernement du Canada pour les projets suivants. Projet d'aménagement d'une piste cyclable sur le chemin Sainte-Marie dans le secteur Timberley et projet d'aménagement d'un sentier piéton dans la servitude d'Hydro-Québec. De confirmer que la Ville de Kirkland assumera sa part des coûts admissibles et tous les coûts non admissibles au programme FTA, de même que les coûts d'exploitation continue de l'infrastructure, et d'autoriser la chef de division, génie, ou le directeur du service de l'ingénierie à signer pour et au nom de la Ville tout document requis pour donner effet à cette demande d'aide financière.
This project will be interesting because it was a request for many years from many councilors concerning the actual idle servitude pact. We've got a recreation pact, but everybody uses it. You've got pedestrian and people using bicycle. Could be risky at one point, so what we're asking is financial assistance to be able to build a separate path, walking path, beside the bicycle path. I need a proposal.
I definitely propose that. Nancy Kokinasides.
And second?
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Item 7.2, it is proposed to renew the membership of the town of Kirkland to the Union des municipalités du Québec for the year 2025 and to authorize the payment of the required fee in the amount of $13,113.83, all applicable taxes included.
Moved by
I will move it, Dominic Zito.
and second by.
Je l'appuie, Carrington.
Merci.
Au point 7.3, il est proposé d'autoriser les ajouts suivants à la liste de contributions aux organismes communautaires locaux approuvés par le conseil municipal pour l'année 2025. L'organisme est Benito Rossi Social Center pour un montant de $1,437,50.
Proposeur
Proposé à Paul Dufort.
et appuyé par.
Je l'appuie, Nancy Kokinasides.
Merci.
We're now under item 8, human resources. We have 8.1. It is proposed to appoint Ms. Bridget McCall, to the management position of Section Head Recreational Programs within the Recreation and Library Department for a trial period of 12 months as of January 20th, 2025. The whole in accordance with the employment policy currently in force for management employees of the town of Kirkland.
Proposeur
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
and second.
I'll second that, John Morrison.
Thank you.
Au point 8.2, il est proposé de nommer et de confirmer Mme Priya Rangavelou au poste col blanc de technicienne analyste en comptabilité au sein des services administratifs de la Ville de Kirkland, en date du 15 juillet 2024, le tout conformément à la convention collective présentement en vigueur pour les employés col blanc de la ville de Kirkland.
Proposé.
I'll propose that Karen Cliff.
And second.
Second, Claude Falk.
Yes.
8.3, it is proposed to renew for the 2024-2025 period the work integration contract between the town of Kirkland and Emploi Québec for the continued employment of employee number 2791 as general works and cleaning attendant for the Public Works Department, and to authorize the division head human resources or the assistant director general and treasurer to sign any and all documents required for this purpose.
Moved by
I'll propose that Nancy Kokonasidis.
and second. Second by.
I second that, John Morrison, excuse me.
Yeah.
We'll snooze that.
Au point 9, comité consultatif d'urbanisme, nous avons une dérogation mineure au 12 rue Allencroft. Il est proposé d'accorder en vertu du règlement 9063 intitulé Règlement relatif aux dérogations mineures de la ville de Kirkland, la dérogation mineure suivante au règlement de zonage 9058. Donc, l'adresse est le 12 rue Allencroft sur le lot 1991658 dans la zone 114A, afin de permettre l'installation d'une clôture d'une hauteur de 3,05 mètres le long de la ligne arrière de la propriété, au lieu de la hauteur maximale permise de 1,85 mètres telle que stipulée à 10.9c du règlement. Une clôture d'une hauteur de 2,4 mètres le long de la ligne secondaire avant, au lieu de la hauteur maximale de 1,85 mètres, et une marge de 0 mètre au lieu de 2,5 par rapport à l'emprise de la rue, telle que stipulée à 10.9b et 5.5c du règlement de zonage. Et enfin, une clôture à une distance de 7,36 mètres du mur arrière de la maison au lieu d'un maximum de 4 mètres, tel que stipulé à 5,57 du règlement de zonage. Cette dérogation mineure est conditionnelle à ce que la clôture le long de la ligne secondaire avant de la propriété adopte un concept en escalier, débutant à une hauteur de 2,4 mètres à l'arrière et réduisant progressivement à 1,8 mètres à mesure qu'elle se raccorde à la clôture située au coin avant la maison.
Proposeur
C'est le proposé du chairman de Tchèque.
et appuyé par.
Je vais le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
C'est.
Item 9.2, it is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the cadastral operation project on lot 6044936 in zone 234C, located at 16900 and 16900A Trans-Canada Highway. This is where the Provigo Winners Building is. And the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on January 14, and to approve as submitted the site planning and architectural integration plans listed in item 3.2.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on January 14, said plans being in conformity with our bylaw, SPAIP-2022-55, and having received a favorable recommendation from the PAC.
Propose.
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second.
I'll second that, the chairman of Tchèque.
C'est.
Il n'y a aucune affaire touchant la sécurité publique et la circulation à la présente séance. There's no business pertaining to the environment at the present sitting. Ce qui nous amène au rapport du maire sur les décisions prises par le conseil d'agglomération de Montréal à l'Assemblée ordinaire du 23 janvier 2025.
Okay, I'll start with the actual meeting. At item 4202, we voted against, and it was all related to the Cavendish project, where basically the city's concern are still left in the dark, don't know what what's happening, but not only that, they're not consulted. So we voted against that article. We took the liberty also that evening to basically, not only me, but the 4 other mayors that are affected by the stopping of the fluoridation at the two plants, Point Claire and Dorval. And the first question that I asked was addressed to Maya Vadanovich. She's basically responsible for the water on the executive. And I'll read it in French and I'll translate afterwards. Vous avez tous reçu une copie de la lettre, because the letter that we received, or the mayor of Bédorfield received, was directly from le sous-ministre, from le ministère de la Santé et des Services sociaux, and that came directly from Québec. So, vous avez tous reçu une copie de la lettre datée du 11 décembre 2024, provenant du ministère de la Santé et des Services sociaux, adressée à la mairesse de Bédorfield, Mme Heidi Egvet. En résumé, in this letter, it resumes it like this. There's a program, a Quebec program, in fluoridation de l'eau potable. And that's administered directly by the DMSSS, that's the actual Ministre de la Santé et des Services sociaux. And they finance the purchase costs. They'll also make sure that the installation will pay with the installation, and also for any repairs. And also, the government takes a responsibility of buying the fluoridation or the floor, la fluoration, and supply it to Montreal. So, my question was the following. Ma question est la suivante. Allez-vous reconsidérer, will you reconsider your decision to stop the fluoridation dans les deux usines, soit Dorval and Point Claire, that she basically, or I would say Projet Montréal, or l'agglomération on the winning side, that's Projet Montréal, and that will they remove or reconsider removing Article 3010 of the Conseil d'Assemblée de l'agglomération. And she basically said no. Then I again asked a question to Madame Vadanovich, and this one was pretty much went unanswered. But some of Projet Montréal basically wanted some copy that we did distribute. And it goes like that. Une étude de 2003 de l'Institut national de santé publique du Québec et de la Direction régionale de la santé publique de Montréal sur les enfants de maternelle à risque de carie, ville de Dorval visite les arrondissements de Montréal, et les résultats sont les suivants. This is a study that was made by the provincial government. And to say that la fluoridation was not a bad thing, but it's a thing that they recommended. And what happened, this result, and that study was made in those years, in 2003, and deposited around 2006. It was for when we're in the merge process, to basically maintain the fluoridation of these two stations so that we could still receive the service. At that point, okay, they were probably more favorable because we had Tremblay in those states. And they agreed to keep it because the argument, still the argument that Madame Vadanovich is saying, is that the argument, you got it, we don't have it, so we don't want anybody to have it. So here are the result of this study, and it's even worse today. And that was based for the kindergarten children at high risk of cavity. City of Dorval visit the other boroughs. And that was, okay, Dorval itself, the city of Dorval, and that's a fluoridated city, 7.4, Lachine, 26%, Unstick, 15%, NDG, Montreal West, 16%, Le Plateau, the Art of Montreal, 15%. Côte-des-Neiges, the poorest area on the island of Montreal, 47%. They don't give a damn about their kids. And Pointe-Saint-Charles, 42%. And that report came from la Direction régionale de la santé publique de Montréal et de l'Institut national de santé publique du Québec. That knows far more. And my question was the following. Êtes-vous conscient et prête à prendre la responsabilité que votre décision de cesser la fluoration dans ces 2 usines affectera la santé dentaire de mes enfants de Kirkland ainsi que de ceux de Bédurfé, Beaconsfield, Pointe-Claire et Dorval? So it was an hectic meeting. We still plan to continue our fight. We're looking at attacking it on the legal side for now, just looking at the fact that they prevent us to have any consultation or view. La démocratie a été purement non respectée. And we're also looking at the health situation on our kids itself. So I'm not quitting, and I plan to fight it, and our council is in agreement to continue the fight as long as we get resolved, or if they change party. So we'll see. So that's all for me. It's still very frustrating.
But if the government should come back.
Later on, I'll show you that.
Okay, item 13, there is no business pertaining to government business at this sitting. Ce qui nous amène à support resolutions, délégation municipale, au point 14.1. Il est proposé d'autoriser le maire, M. Michel Gibson, la conseillère Mme Nancy Coquina-Sidis et les conseillers, M. Steven Bouchard, Luciano Pichacchia et Domenico Zito à représenter la ville de Kirkland au 88e congrès annuel de la Fédération canadienne des municipalités, la FCM, qui se tiendra à Ottawa, en Ontario, du 29 mai au 1er juin 2025, et d'autoriser la directrice générale adjointe et trésorière à rembourser les frais d'inscription, de transport, d'hébergement et autres coûts liés à leur participation, ainsi que les frais de participation aux activités autorisées pour les conjoints accompagnateurs sur présentation des pièces justificatives.
Proposé
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
et appuyé par.
I'll second that, all four.
Merci.
14.2, it is proposed to authorize the mayor, Mr. Michel Gibson, and the councillors Nancy Coquina-Sidis, Stephen Bouchard, Luciano Pichacchia, and Domenico Zito to represent the town of Kirkland at the annual meeting of the Union Municipalité du Québec, UMQ, to be held in Quebec City at the Centre des Congrès de Québec from May 14 to May 16, 2025, and to authorize the Assistant Director General and Treasurer to reimburse registration fees, transportation, accommodation, and other costs related to their participation, as well as participation fees for authorized activities for accompanying spouses upon presentation of supporting documents.
I need somebody to
I'll
move it.
propose that, all four.
And second?
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Thank you.
Au point 15, nous avons une résolution d'appui pour les journées de la persévérance scolaire. Considérant que la campagne sur les journées de la persévérance scolaire regroupant plusieurs partenaires se tiendra du 10 au 14 février 2025 sur la thématique « La persévérance fait toute la différence » et que ces journées se veulent un temps fort dans l'année témoignant de la mobilisation collective autour de la persévérance et de la réussite scolaire de tous les étudiants. Considérant que les élus municipaux veulent témoigner de leur solidarité et de leur soutien envers les jeunes et envers l'ensemble des intervenants du réseau de l'éducation, et que les élus municipaux collaborent aux efforts de la collectivité montréalaise en matière de persévérance scolaire et de réussite éducative, entre autres à travers les initiatives Les élus s'engagent de Concertation Montréal. Il est proposé de proclamer la semaine du 10 au 14 février 2025 comme celle des journées de la persévérance scolaire, d'exprimer unanimement et publiquement la solidarité et le soutien envers les jeunes et envers l'ensemble des intervenants du réseau de l'éducation, d'appuyer la campagne des journées de la persévérance scolaire 2025 sur la thématique « La persévérance fait toute la différence » et d'inviter tout le monde à y participer.
Un proposeur
Je le propose, Nancy Coquina-Sidis.
et appuyé par.
Your second day, John Morrison.
Merci. En passant, ces 2 conseillers-là représentent les 2 écoles. Nancy siège de temps à autre. Ils se rencontrent combien de fois sur l'école Émilie? Hein? Et John aussi participe aux réunions de Margaret Benson, c'est bien ça. C'est tout simplement avoir un contact, to have a contact with our school board, our schools. Okay, excuse me.
The municipal council takes note, the municipal council takes note of the tabling of the correspondence for the month of January 2025 by the town clerk. Il n'y a aucune affaire nouvelle qui est traitée à la présente séance, qui nous amène à la période de questions du public. Cette période de questions est maintenant ouverte. Tout membre du public qui désire s'adresser au conseil municipal et qui faire l'appel derrière le micro. Lorsque le droit de parole vous est accordé, veuillez énoncer vos noms et adresses et formuler votre question de manière claire et concise en vous adressant au maire dans un langage respectueux. Chaque intervention est limitée à 2 questions portant sur les affaires de la ville. Il vous sera possible de poser des questions supplémentaires lorsque tous les membres du public qui désirent s'adresser au conseil auront eu l'occasion de le faire. Public question period is now open. Members of the audience who wish to address the council are requested to line up behind the microphone. When given the floor, please state your name and address and direct your question to the mayor in a clear and concise manner using respectful language. Each intervention is limited to 2 questions related to the town's affairs, and you will be able to ask additional questions once all members of the audience who wish to address the council have had a chance to do so.
Here we go again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Luc Pigeon, 16876 Hymas. We all know by now that extreme weather events are caused by human activity and not by acts of God, as claimed by Kirkland's insurers. Kirkland taxpayers have been paying Kirkland insurers for decades in the event Kirkland's rain storm water management system failed to protect them against storm sewer backup water that comes to the 9th of August. My first question. Okay. When do you expect to receive your expert's report on what can be done to improve Kirkland's rainstorm water management system so that homes like mine don't get invaded again by storm sewer backup water now that more frequent extreme weather events are on the horizon?
But you just said it.
And can I finish my sentence, please?
I thought you were finished. Excuse me,
Well,
Mr.
give
Pigeon. Excuse me.
Okay, you're excused, okay?
Proceed.
So, backup water now that more frequent extreme weather events are on the horizon. I hope you agree with me. And will the report be made public?
I think you answered part of your question, because you're saying that report will basically not prevent what you basically received. This was a rainfall that you will see probably every 10,000 years.
Oh!
Okay?
You're not informed very well, Mr. Mayor. I'm
No,
afraid.
but I'm just giving you an example. So the report for now, we don't have any report. Eventually, when we'll have a report, we'll look at it and we'll decide if there's something to be done. But for now, we don't have the report yet.
So you're not expecting to have a report?
Not yet. When we'll have it, we'll inform everybody.
There's time for me to get water in my basement a few times before then, maybe? So my next question,
Unfortunately, we never know.
you'll probably fall off your chair when you see the rain coming down again in a year or two, sir. Anyway.
I will not.
Oh, we don't want it, of course.
No, exactly.
I went through hell anyway, I'll go on with my second question.
Okay.
Why did you take the side of the insurance company that used the false narrative of an act of God for refusing to pay Kirkland's taxpayers for the 9th of August storm sewer backup water damages caused by Kirkland's inadequate rainstorm water management system?
That's your opinion.
It's not only my opinion.
It's your opinion, that's all.
I have one more
Any
question.
questions?
If you'll let me ask you that question, I'll be going home.
But you already asked 2? No? Next, please.
No problem.
Good evening, Marie, with the show on 98 Morley Hill.
Hi, Lorena.
I have 2 questions that are more or less related. And to the effect of what I'm going to ask, I notify you with WhatsApp and Karen as well, my frustrations on getting the correct point of communicating through our system, the internet and the telephone system. So what I'd like to ask in all seriousness, somebody that is not very familiar with our telephone system nor with the internet website to pretend that they're an English-speaking person and they would like always to remain within the English medium by searching for a bylaw, a specific bylaw on the internet and the Kirkland website. And when you're dealing with the telephone system, again, go through the system that you want to reach a certain department or a certain person or a certain entity through the telephone system. I got so frustrated and I tried over 3 days to do it, and it's about the second or third time I'm bringing this topic up for questioning, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, there's a telephone and the website to find
Yes.
the bylaw. Is there a bylaw in particular you're looking for?
Well, if you want to be specific, I was looking for the bylaw regarding the noise and
Nuisance.
nuisance.
Okay. It's on the system.
I know it is, but it took me about 4 or 5 days. And after the second day, I got so frustrated, that's when I sent you the message and Karen as well.
Yeah, well, no, just a moment. What you can do, come and see Joe or Annie, and we'll explain it to you how to get in the system and then get your bylaw.
But that's not what I'm asking you.
But you
It's
were
not what
looking
I'm
for
asking you.
something that you couldn't find.
I'm asking you to consider very seriously, pretend that you are a regular English-speaking citizen,
Yeah.
and you try to do it on your own. You get hung up so many places, and it's so frustrating.
No, for the telephone. No.
Marino, I'm just gonna say, I'll go through it with you, but there is one thing. When you go into the English part, and you go into one section, such as, let's say, nuisance or noise or whatever, bylaw, whatever, when you go into the next section, it bounces back to French, which means that you have to go back and click English again. I'm just gonna ask if we could try, when someone goes into English, for it to stay English. Because it bounces
That's what you're
back.
talking about?
But that's just
Well,
like part of it.
that's part of it, yes.
So you go on in English to look for your bylaw, and then if you happen to click off it to look somewhere else, it bounces back to French. So it makes it more difficult.
Okay.
And for the telephone system, I don't know how many times I waited, because it says to wait and wait and wait, and then nothing happened. So that's why I'm asking for somebody to try it out, to know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I've taken note, Marino.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's not to be done by somebody that's familiar with it, because once you're familiar with it, you can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You know, pretend that you're a regular citizen that occasionally tries to find certain information on internet and through the telephone as well. I'm going to speak with the security person here for the other one, because I really needed a little bit more expedient way of getting in touch with the security people. Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay.
Keith, no question? It's gonna be short and sweet. I already know what the answer is gonna be, Mike, okay? And it hurts me, okay? So, healthy democratic cities like Montreal openly tell their citizens that the August 9, 2024 extreme weather event rains and damages were caused by climate change, okay? Not an act of God, for goodness sake. Why hasn't Kirkland done the same? Are you all climate deniers or what?
No,
What are you?
OK, merci,
No-
monsieur
no
Pigeon.
answer, right?
Non.
Well, I know what your
Quand
answer
on est impoli comme vous, on répond pas. C'est ma politique.
You're not cooperating much either.
But it's hard when you've got questions and impolite action like you. I'm sorry.
No,
Monsieur.
I may talk loud, it doesn't
Merci
mean I'm
beaucoup.
impolite, sorry.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur Pigeon. Puis en passant, vous parlez de Montréal et qui sont démocratiques.
Oui, plus que vous, monsieur.
C'est une autre paire de manches.
Ben, tout de ton point de vue encore, comme tu veux.
Bon. Est-ce que tu... OK, parfait. OK, next.
Ross, 168 Niagara, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I vote.
My question is a little bit about the RIB. They're working now, they're stopping.
Bob, excuse me, just, can you be the first one up to ask a question next time, please? So that he has to stay till the end and listen to
Okay.
the other question.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted him to go.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob, go ahead. Whoops, sorry.
Okay, they're doing tests now.
Yeah,
They're stopping,
statistics.
yeah, they're stopping the trains from going all weekends now. My question is, coming back to Kirtland about the parking, maybe.
Yeah, we discussed it this evening. Okay, what do you want to know about the parking?
Well, there's only gonna be 200 parking?
Exactly, that's what the two traffic study basically told us. You cannot have more than 200 parking spaces, but for Kirkland residents only.
Is Kirkland gonna have special tags on their cars or something?
We're not at that point. We did sign the agreement. The administration are working with the actual promoter, and we'll come with an answer. Eventually, you'll have an answer on the way it will work. Tags or no tags or identification, we'll have a system. But I'm not in the position to tell you that, because we don't know yet.
Okay, for people that are not capable of parking far and all that, are you?
And the distance will be pretty, I
No,
believe
I'm
we
talking
said.
about the capacity.
On a capacity, it's 200. That's all.
If people, they're coming with wheelchairs, are they, with their cars, are they gonna have special places for them and all that?
Oh, the handicap, for sure. Any parking
So
lot.
that means that the other people that are coming to the station will be parking on the streets all over the place.
No, we're looking at that also. Don't worry, for now,
You're gonna change your signs and everything, or what?
Yeah, eventually, that's what we'll have to do. You know, at the beginning, they're expecting, I was told at one point, close to 500 users in the first probably week or so. That could basically move up to 800 users at a different time, especially in the morning or in the evening. So for now, we're all in the process of reviewing the tax situation, the entrance, how do we monitor the cars that are coming in, the accessibility to also handicapped people. I know the REM itself, everything's there.
But we don't know how many cars are coming in each day. We don't know what will be.
No, we don't know, but that's it. But they are predicting
Yeah, I know,
500
but-
user. Some will be by bus, some will be drop off, and some will park.
Well,
But we-
the road is not ready yet for the buses and all that.
Right.
No,
You know,
it will be finished when I believe.
Well, there
it's-
could be, in the next, election or
Fall
something like that.
2025, fall 2025.
My next question is about the fluoride. You
Yeah.
were saying that the government, the province of Quebec, is willing to pay for
Yeah.
all this stuff. So why is not Montreal going ahead with it? As the province has the power to do it, I mean,
No, they don't have the power to impose on a city to use or not use fluoride. But their recommendations are quite clear, you know.
that they're willing to pay for mostly of everything.
Oh, yeah, they're willing to pay for almost everything. In the letter that was addressed to Madame.
And even the keep up of the two stations and all that.
Yeah, you know, it was quite clear, and they were saying that the MSS, that's the Ministère de la Santé et des Services Sociaux, they financed the coup d'achat, okay, of
I
this.
heard everything what you were
Okay,
saying.
but it's quite clear, and the response we're getting is the twofold. There's first of all saying, and it was the same argument back in 2006 when we diverged, is that how come you have it and the rest of the city doesn't have it? It was a little bit, remember the first responders?
Yeah.
We had in the West Island because we were intelligent enough to have this service. But Montreal didn't have it, so they said, West Island, you don't have it. But we fought for it, and finally they realized that the rest of Montreal should have first responder also. And I presume it did save lives, and that's why we wanted it. But we're in a similar situation here. And also the argument from, I have to say, Projet Montréal, that basically is in charge of the agglomeration. And the argument that basically, and she said it openly, Madam, they're responsible of the.
I heard what you said, yeah.
Yeah, but she also said, and she was giving me the studies that were made in Netherlands, that it could affect children 1.9%. It's not even recognized by the province of Quebec. Listen.
I mean, you brought that up even before that, when we looked at
Yeah.
Netherlands and all
And that's
that.
why we're looking at the legal aspect, the health of our kids, but also the way they basically stop the fluoridation without basically consulting us, you know? It's their decision. And that was a poor decision. And I'll keep on fighting.
Basically, they do what they want, and we
And
still
that's the
have to
problem.
send them our tax money just the same, regardless of what the cities are saying. They just want you to send their 33 million or 40 million to them, and
Imagine, I had a meeting today, a video conference, because I sit on the Commission of the Transport et des Travaux Publics et Transport. And we're having a presentation from a group of ladies that are basically putting policy for handicapped people. Montreal is the worst city in the world when it comes to accessibility for blind people, for wheelchair people. You know, they still working on basically doing sidewalks that could basically accept a wheelchair to go in. And they're so disorganized. And at one point, you had Norris, he sits on the executive, and he says, yes, but our bike path are still in good condition. We can't basically ask these wheelchair to basically use these bike paths. And the lady said, you're lying, that's not true. So they're investing more in bike path than they are doing for the handicapped people in Montreal. Montreal is a mess, you know, just a pure mess at this present time. When I drive, no, but I have to say it, when I drive to those agglomeration council meetings, when I see the graffiti and the filthiness in that city, I'm sorry.
millions of dollars cost for highways that you see.
It's a city for adults with kids. I'm sorry. Adigo, that's my point of view, but we'll still fight for that. Adigo.
I thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
One more.
Okay.
I have to propose this actually. Okay, the nice thing.
Hi,
Yes.
Nicholas Sobchuk.
Oh, you have to leave. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Hi, Nicholas Sobchuk, 119 Richard Fox. I'm a university student. I also went to CJAP to Toronto College.
I just
Sorry, you kind of get your last name?
Sorry, I had Nicholas Sobchuk, 119 Richard Fox.
Oh, okay.
11935.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, cool.
Just tell me if I'm not talking about.
Just be closer to the microphone.
Yeah, closer to the microphone.
That's better.
Yeah. I went to John Evans College, Ellsworth Elementary in the West Island, in Beaconsfield. Now I go to University of McGill. I utilize frequently the Kirkland Public Library.
Yeah.
And I noticed that especially on once the exam period for like CJEPs and also for universities, that the library becomes very full. and also that it does close a bit early, especially on weekends. On weekends, it closes at 5 p.m. And I have been there many times on weekends, and right up until 5 p.m., it is absolutely packed with people. And of course, on weekdays, it closes at 10 p.m. I want to know if there's anything that can be done in terms of like maybe extending the hours a bit, especially on weekends, to accommodate kind of how there's like a mass influx of people who are all studying for finals and tests and things like that.
I'll first respond to your question by saying every time our library is evaluated by the province of Quebec, we always lose 5 points. We finish with 95% very, very good, but we always basically are missing that 5 point, and it's for the actual size of it, you know, and you got a point. And for the hours itself, I have to say, if you look at every library in Montreal, we got almost 3 or 4 hours more than Montreal. But you got probably a point saying that we could always look at it to see and make our study with the others in the West Island. But I know us, and I believe Westmont or TMR were the top notch, and there was a study made 3 years ago. It was at that price where Kirkland was number 2 of all the libraries, in the island of Montreal.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't that long ago, but we weren't open on weekends.
exactly, that's a point.
That was not that long ago.
We did that. And yes, I believe that probably in future years, we were looking at one point at looking at a new community center, and probably we'll have to consider the library and to probably move the library to bigger facility or build the library to a bigger facility. But for now, you know, we did what we did for the library, and I know it's crowded. That I can only concur with you, you know. But your points are well received.
Cool. Thank you. Is it okay if I ask the second question?
Sure.
Prior there was a question where a gentleman brought up climate change and kind of how it's becoming a bit more of a prevalent thing. My concern with that is in terms of like at parks. I mean, in the summer, there's a million people who go to our parks. It's very active. There's some parks that don't really have kind of like a place to rest that has shade. And kind of as global warming kind of picks up, summers are getting hotter, and of course people are also getting hotter and sweating a lot more, and of course need shade. So I know that at Camden Park there isn't anywhere to like kind of sit in the shade, and I also know at Kirkland Park that it's also a bit more limited. But also just an idea is like it's getting hotter, and shade is very important when you're hot, so you don't like pass out or anything. So just an idea is maybe setting up more places for people to rest in the shade where they're free from the sun.
Yeah, like we've got probably at
Ecclestone.
Ecclestone.
When we redid the
Yes.
park, we asked for a shaded area, it's a
Yeah,
large
exactly.
shaded area.
It's terrific, yeah.
With tables, it's because as we renew them, that's what we're putting.
Exactly, good point, Steve. Yeah,
Okay, thanks so much. Have a good one.
thank you very much. Okay, go ahead.
This gentleman here, in the library downstairs, where you go for the classes and all that, can they use that probably? You know, it's not just that area.
Yeah, but it's.
You know, you got classes there.
Yeah.
Why can't they probably use that?
Yeah, classroom and conference room where you got that painting.
Yeah, where the painting, or where we go for our computer test. Lessons and all that downstairs.
We'll look at it.
You know, there's classes there where probably the students could go there and they got the same.
Especially around exam.
Yes. I've just thought of that now.
No, it's not a bad idea, but thanks. Okay, any more questions? Now listen, thank you all for coming. Merci d'être venus and have a nice evening. Amusez-vous. Bonsoir.
Close the meeting.
Close the meeting.
Okay, propose.
I'll propose the closure.
And
Dominic Zito.
Somebody to second.
And I will second all 4.
Thank you.